Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are diving into the fascinating world of rare coins, focusing specifically on the 1979 D1 cent coin, a seemingly ordinary Lincoln penny that has captured the attention of collectors worldwide due to its extraordinary value and the unique errors that make it a treasure for anyone lucky enough to find it. And when we talk about this coin, it is crucial to understand the context in which it was minted. The Denver Mint in 1979 was producing millions of pennies, yet within these masses, a few coins emerged with anomalies that have skyrocketed their market worth to an astonishing $9 million, making them some of the most sought-after 1-cent coins in numismatic history. What makes the 1979 D penny particularly remarkable are the errors present on certain specimens, which can range from die cracks, off-center strikes, double strikes, to repunched mint marks, and each of these errors contributes significantly to the coin's rarity. For instance, one of the most famous errors associated with this coin is the repunched mint mark, where the letter D indicating the Denver Mint was punched more than once, resulting in overlapping impressions that are clearly visible to the naked eye or under magnification. This type of mint mark anomaly is extremely rare because it occurs only when the minting process experiences a deviation that allows the die to be repositioned and struck multiple times, adding a level of uniqueness to each coin. Collectors highly prize such anomalies because they are essentially one-of-a-kind variations of a standard issue coin. Another critical error that has been observed in the 1979 D1 cent coins is die cracks, which happen when the coin die, subjected to immense pressure and repeated use, develop small fissures that transfer onto the surface of the coins during striking. These cracks can form intricate patterns that range from subtle lines barely noticeable without magnification to more pronounced splits that cross the field of the coin and even the design elements. Each crack serves as a fingerprint of a specific die, and since dies are eventually retired, any coin bearing that particular crack becomes irreplaceable. There have also been instances of off-center strikes among 1979 D pennies, where the coin planchet, the blank metal disc destined to become a penny, was misaligned during the striking process, resulting in portions of the design missing and exposing a blank area on the coin. These off-center strikes are visually striking and dramatically increase the rarity and value of the coin, particularly when the misalignment is severe. Collectors find them fascinating because they capture an accidental moment in the minting process that can never be exactly replicated, adding another layer of excitement to the hunt for this specific coin. In addition to these errors, double strikes are another phenomenon that has elevated certain 1979 D pennies to multimillion dollar status. A double strike occurs when a coin is struck more than once by the die, often slightly rotated or misaligned between strikes, creating a shadowed or doubled image of the primary design element such as Lincoln's profile, the date, or the mint mark. This type of error is incredibly rare and visually captivating, making coins with double strikes highly desirable for collectors and investors who are willing to pay substantial sums for a coin that stands out from all standard issues. Beyond these physical errors, the historical significance of the 1979 D penny adds to its allure. The late 1970s were a period of intense coin production in the United States, yet the survival rate of error coins from this era is extremely low because most errors were either caught at the mint or discarded due to quality control measures. This scarcity combined with the growing interest in numismatics over the decades has created a perfect storm for the value of coins like the 1979 D. When you consider the odds of finding one of these error coins in circulation or even in private collections, it becomes clear why the market price has escalated to millions of dollars. Moreover, the 1979 D penny is an excellent example of how small variations can drastically affect a coin's market value. For a typical circulated 1979 D penny, the value is merely a few cents. Yet the error coins can reach $9 million, illustrating the profound impact that minting mistakes can have on collectible coins. This disparity also underscores the importance of careful inspection and authentication, as collectors must rely on expert grading services to verify the legitimacy and severity of the errors before investing significant sums. Professional grading not only confirms the presence of errors but also assigns a grade that reflects the coin's overall condition, which can further influence its market price. Another fascinating aspect is the possibility of previously undiscovered errors existing among 1979 D pennies. Numismatics is a field where ongoing research and discoveries continue to reshape the landscape, new era coins are occasionally found in private collections, estates, or even from rolls of coins purchased in banks, and when such coins are authenticated, they can command incredible sums because they represent a fresh addition to the known pool of rare examples. This potential for discovery keeps collectors constantly engaged and hopeful that they might uncover a hidden gem. The 1979 penny also exemplifies the psychology of collecting and the dynamics of the numismatic market, as collectors are often driven by a combination of rarity, uniqueness, and historical significance, and coins with documented errors like the repunched mint mark, die cracks, off-center strikes, or double strikes tick all these boxes. The excitement of owning a coin that carries a tangible story from the minting process and the knowledge that only a handful exist elevates the experience beyond mere possession to a form of historical and artistic appreciation. Furthermore, the 1979 penny has garnered attention not only for the magnitude of its errors but also for the dramatic stories behind individual sales, with auctions and private transactions sometimes revealing seven-figure sums changing hands. These events create a feedback loop that increases public awareness and fuels further demand among collectors and investors alike. The coin has become emblematic of how seemingly ordinary items can transform into extraordinary assets under the right circumstances, and this transformation underscores the importance of understanding both the technical aspects of coin errors and the market dynamics that drive valuation. It is also important to recognize that the grading and authentication process plays a vital role in establishing credibility and trust in the numismatic community. Expert organizations examine coins meticulously to confirm the presence of errors, their severity, and the coin's condition, which collectively determine its final market value. Without such professional assessment, buyers and sellers would struggle to ascertain a fair price, potentially diminishing confidence in high-value transactions. Additionally, the educational aspect of error coins like the 1979 penny cannot be overlooked. Each coin provides a tangible example of minting processes, quality control issues, and the physical properties of the metal used. For students of numismatics, historians, and casual collectors alike, studying these errors deepens their appreciation for the complexity and precision involved in coin production, while simultaneously illustrating how small deviations can result in extraordinary rarity. Collectors also derive joy from comparing the various types of errors. For example, contrasting a repunched mint mark with an off-center strike or a die crack can reveal nuances in production techniques and the mechanical challenges faced by the mint. This comparative study helps build expertise and informs the search for other valuable coins. Furthermore, owning a 1979 penny with a significant error often comes with a sense of prestige within collector circles, as these coins are recognized internationally for their rarity and value. Having one in a personal collection is akin to possessing a piece of history that embodies both chance and craftsmanship. Collectors often share images, discuss provenance, and participate in forums and auctions that celebrate these exceptional coins, creating a vibrant community centered around shared passion and knowledge. The coin also illustrates broader economic and investment trends, as rare coins like the 1979 penny have increasingly been viewed not only as collectibles but also as alternative assets. The scarcity, historical significance, and documented errors provide a hedge against inflation and market volatility, attracting attention from both seasoned collectors and new investors seeking to diversify their portfolios with tangible assets that combine cultural and financial value. In addition, the allure of the 1979 penny extends into pop culture and media, with stories of rare coin discoveries making headlines and inspiring documentaries, articles, and videos, further fueling public fascination and demand. This visibility contributes to maintaining high market values, as awareness and interest continuously expand. The possibility of finding a 1979 penny. Next, 2006 1-cent USA coin. Today we are diving into the incredible story of the 2006 1-cent coin, a coin that may seem ordinary at first glance but has captured the attention of collectors and numismatic enthusiasts around the globe due to its astonishing value, reaching up to $8 million in certain cases. A figure that is almost unimaginable for a coin that was originally intended for everyday circulation. And yet, what makes this coin so extraordinary are the errors and mistakes that occurred during its production, turning a common penny into a treasure that is highly sought after. Now, the 2006 1-cent coin, also referred to as the Lincoln cent, was minted during a period when the United States Mint was experimenting with new dies and production techniques, and while most coins were struck perfectly, a handful experienced a variety of anomalies that are incredibly rare and highly prized. One of the most significant errors that collectors look for in this coin is the off-center strike, an error that happens when the planchet, the blank piece of metal that becomes the coin, is not properly aligned within the coin press, resulting in a coin where the design is noticeably shifted to one side, sometimes leaving part of the rim completely missing or creating an unusual blank space on the coin's surface. This type of mistake is extremely rare because the mint usually discards such flawed coins, but in some cases, these off-center pennies escape into circulation, and when they are in near-perfect condition, they can fetch millions of dollars. The 2006 1-cent coin also has another category of errors known as double die errors, which occur when the die that stamps the coin's design has been impressed more than once with slight misalignment, creating a shadow or doubling effect on the letters and numbers. On this particular penny, collectors have noticed doubling on the date, the word liberty, and even on "In God We Trust," and these anomalies are so distinct and rare that coins exhibiting them are considered major rarities in the numismatic community. Another fascinating mistake that has contributed to the coin's high value is the die crack error, where the metal die develops a crack, and when it strikes a coin, a raised line or series of lines appears, sometimes creating intricate patterns that almost look like natural art. 2006 pennies with die cracks are sought after because each crack is unique, and coins with multiple cracks can be particularly valuable. Additionally, some 2006 1-cent coins exhibit what is called a clipped planchet error, which occurs when the blank piece of metal is improperly cut, resulting in coins that are missing a portion of their circular shape. These coins are incredibly rare, and the variation in shapes adds to their appeal among collectors. And while the majority of collectors focus on these visible errors, there are also more subtle mistakes, such as weak strikes, where the design is faint due to insufficient pressure during minting, and off-metal strikes, where the planchet is composed of the wrong metal composition, sometimes leading to unexpected color or weight variations. These less obvious errors can still dramatically increase a coin's value. Beyond the mechanical errors, provenance and historical context also play a role in the 2006 1-cent coin's worth. For example, coins that were among the very first struck in a particular batch or from a retired die are sometimes considered more valuable because they can exhibit sharper details and unique anomalies that disappear as the dies wear down, and coins that have been preserved in near-mint condition, with no scratches or wear, are especially prized. This combination of rarity, condition, and error type creates a perfect storm of desirability that can push a 2006 1-cent coin into the multi-million-dollar range. Some coins have even been discovered in unexpected places, like change jars or collections that were forgotten for decades, and the story of finding such a coin often adds to its mystique and value. For collectors, the thrill of discovering a 2006 penny with a rare error is akin to striking gold, and auction houses have seen bids that soar dramatically once the coin's authenticity and error type are verified by expert graders. In fact, grading by organizations such as the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, can significantly affect the value, as a coin rated at the highest mint state with a rare error can easily command millions, whereas a similar coin with wear or lower grade might fetch significantly less. It is also important to note that the rarity of these errors is partly due to the mint's quality control processes, which are designed to minimize mistakes, so the coins that slip through with noticeable flaws are extremely few, which naturally makes them more desirable to collectors. Beyond the physical characteristics, the story behind the coin and the errors themselves adds to its allure. For instance, the 2006 1-cent coins were produced during a transitional period in minting technology, with new die-making techniques and stricter production standards, which ironically increased the rarity of mistakes. And collectors are drawn to this slice of numismatic history because it captures a moment when human oversight and mechanical processes intersected to create something unique and valuable. Moreover, there are theories among collectors about what makes certain errors more valuable than others. For example, an off-center strike that exposes almost half of the planchet blank is considered far more significant than a minor misalignment, and doubling that is crisp and clearly visible is worth more than subtle doubling that requires magnification to detect. The market for these coins is also influenced by trends in the numismatic community, as interest in Lincoln cents and error coins has surged over the years, and with each record-breaking sale, the fascination grows, driving both collectors and investors to hunt for 2006 1-cent coins with these extraordinary errors. The coin's allure is not just limited to the errors themselves but also the potential for these coins to appreciate in value, as historical sales have shown that once a rare 2006 penny is discovered and authenticated, bidding wars can drive the price into the millions, sometimes exceeding $8 million, which makes even casual collectors inspect their change with renewed interest. And in addition to auctions, private sales have also demonstrated the incredible market for these coins, with collectors willing to pay premium prices for coins with documented provenance, rarity, and pristine condition. Another factor contributing to the coin's value is the element of surprise. Because even though millions of pennies were minted in 2006, the number with major errors is tiny, so stumbling upon one unexpectedly creates instant excitement and opportunity, and it is this unpredictability that fuels the coin hunting community, making the search for rare 2006 1-cent coins not just a hobby but a potentially life-changing discovery. Furthermore, collectors often study die varieties and minting records to predict where errors might occur, and understanding the nuances of 2006 penny production allows them to identify subtle differences that can distinguish a $50 coin from an $8 million masterpiece. This meticulous attention to detail highlights why numismatics is both an art and a science, and why these coins are more than just currency. They are historical artifacts, technological anomalies, and investment vehicles all rolled into one. Ultimately, the 2006 1-cent coin's value is a perfect storm of rarity, historical significance, condition, and the human fascination with errors that transform the mundane into the extraordinary. Every scratch, misalignment, and irregularity tells a story of minting processes, oversight, and chance, which is why collectors are willing to pay staggering sums to own a piece of this unique history. The next time you glance at a penny, consider the possibility that it might be hiding an error that could change a collector's life forever. And as we explore coins like the 2006 1-cent, we are reminded that even the smallest pieces of metal can carry enormous value, and the search for these treasures continues to captivate enthusiasts around the world, making the 2006 penny not just a coin, but a symbol of rarity, fortune, and the thrilling unpredictability of numismatic discovery. Next, 1988 1-cent USA coin. Today, we are diving into an extraordinary story from the world of numismatics that will blow your mind and make you reconsider every penny in your pocket. Imagine holding a coin that was produced in 1988, a year not too distant in history. Yet this particular 1-cent coin has captured the fascination of collectors globally and has been valued at an astonishing $7 million. Yes, you heard that right, $7 million for a coin that most people would see as a common penny. The 1988 1-cent coin is not just any ordinary coin, it is a masterpiece of errors and mistakes that have made it exceptionally rare and highly sought after by collectors and investors alike. The journey of this coin begins with its production at the United States Mint, where, due to a series of unusual circumstances, some coins were struck with significant anomalies that have become a collector's dream. One of the most prominent errors associated with the 1988 1-cent coin is the double die error. This is a type of minting mistake where the coin's design is accidentally impressed twice, slightly misaligned, creating a noticeable doubling effect on certain parts of the coin, most often seen on the date or the inscription, such as "Liberty" or "In God We Trust." In the case of the 1988 penny, the doubling is so pronounced and unusual that it makes the coin stand out immediately to trained eyes. Numismatists and collectors are especially drawn to double die coins because each one is essentially unique. The exact nature of the doubling varies from coin to coin, making them more collectible than ordinary pennies. Beyond the double die error, there are other subtle yet impactful mistakes that contribute to the staggering value of this coin. For instance, some 1988 cents exhibit off-center strikes, where the coin blank did not sit perfectly on the press during minting, resulting in part of the design being missing or partially off the edge of the coin. This creates a visually striking effect that collectors find irresistible because off-center strikes are rare, and their degree of misalignment can dramatically affect value. Additionally, there are instances of die cracks or die breaks on these pennies, which occur when the steel die used to stamp the coin develops small cracks or imperfections. These cracks transfer onto the coin as raised lines or unusual patterns, creating unique and interesting designs that cannot be reproduced, making each flawed coin a singular collectible artifact. Another fascinating aspect is the occurrence of planchet errors in some 1988 pennies. A planchet is the blank metal disc that will eventually become a coin, and occasionally, the planchet can be flawed due to impurities, incorrect alloy composition, or improper sizing. Some 1988 pennies were struck on these defective planchets, leading to coins with unusual weight, thickness, or even color variations. Collectors pay a premium for these anomalies because they are extremely limited in number and provide tangible evidence of the minting process gone awry. Even more compelling is the story of the specific mintage numbers and survival rate of error coins. While millions of standard 1988 pennies were produced, only a minuscule fraction came out with the major errors that make them valuable today. Over the decades, many of these error coins were lost, spent, or melted down, leaving only a handful in existence, which dramatically increases their scarcity and, consequently, their market price. Scarcity is one of the most critical factors in coin valuation, and when combined with the visual appeal of a striking error, it can propel the price into the multi-million-dollar range. Market demand also plays a huge role. Collectors, investors, and even museums are constantly on the lookout for such rare numismatic treasures, creating competitive bidding environments whenever one of these coins appears at auction. There have been instances where a single 1988 era penny has attracted worldwide attention, sparking bidding wars among collectors, and pushing the final sale price well into seven figures. Another interesting element contributing to the value of this coin is its historical significance and narrative. The 1988 penny represents not only a monetary artifact but also a story of human and mechanical imperfection intersecting with history. It embodies the fascinating unpredictability of the minting process and the excitement of discovery that drives numismatics. For collectors, owning a coin like this is not just about money, it's about holding a piece of history, a tangible connection to a moment when a minor error transformed an everyday object into an extraordinary artifact. The social and cultural aspects are also worth noting. Coins like the 1988 1-cent error have become symbols of numismatic passion and expertise. They are frequently featured in coin magazines, online collector forums, and even mainstream media when auctions break records. This exposure further fuels interest and desire among collectors who dream of finding such a coin in their own collection, which, in turn, sustains and elevates the market value. Furthermore, professional grading significantly affects the price of these error coins. Organizations such as PCGS and NGC evaluate coins on various criteria including condition, rarity, and authenticity. A 1988 1-cent error coin graded at the highest levels, such as MS70 or PR70, can command exponentially higher prices than similar coins with lower grades, because collectors and investors are willing to pay for the assurance that the coin is in pristine condition and has been verified as genuine. This grading process also provides a standardized framework for pricing, which enhances the coin's credibility in high-stakes auctions. In addition, the provenance of a coin, its ownership history, can add substantial value. Some 1988 era pennies have passed through famous collections or been part of landmark auctions, which further enhances their mystique and desirability. Coins with well-documented provenance often become legendary in the numismatic community, and their market value reflects not just rarity, but their story and place in coin collecting history. To give a sense of the magnitude, imagine a collector holding a single 1988 penny that is an off-center strike with a double die, minor die cracks, and possibly a flawed planchet. Each factor alone might make the coin interesting, but together, they create a numismatic unicorn worth millions. This combination of technical errors, scarcity, historical significance, grading, provenance, and market demand converges to justify the incredible $7 million valuation. Beyond the immediate monetary value, these coins also serve as an educational tool, illustrating how minute mechanical or human errors in a complex minting process can have far-reaching consequences, turning an ordinary coin into a record-breaking collectible. Collectors who study these coins learn to identify subtle variations, understand minting processes, and appreciate the intricate details that can separate a common penny from a multi-million-dollar treasure. They also develop a keen eye for spotting potential undervalued error coins in circulation or among inherited collections, which keeps the thrill of discovery alive. In conclusion, the 1988 1-cent coin is a fascinating testament to the unpredictable nature of coin production and the passionate world of numismatics. Its extraordinary errors, including doubled dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, and planchet anomalies, combined with rarity, market demand, grading, and provenance, create a perfect storm of value that has propelled this coin into the realm of multi-million-dollar collectibles. For anyone interested in coins, whether as a hobby, an investment, or a historical study, the 1988 penny serves as a reminder that even the most ordinary objects can become extraordinary when chance, history, and human fascination intersect, offering both financial reward and the thrill of holding a piece of living history in your hand. The next time you handle a penny, think about the incredible stories it might hold, the errors that could make it priceless, and the vast world of numismatic treasures waiting to be discovered by the discerning eye. Next, 2011 1-cent USA coin. Today we are diving into a truly extraordinary and mind-boggling topic, a 2011 1-cent coin that has captured the attention of collectors, investors, and coin enthusiasts around the world, not for its face value, which is just a single cent, but because of the unique errors, mistakes, and anomalies that make it potentially worth an astonishing $6 million, a coin that has transformed from a common piece of currency into a rare numismatic treasure with stories, possibilities, and values that seem almost unbelievable. So let us embark on this journey to uncover the history, the details, and the reasons why this coin has become the talk of collectors everywhere, beginning with the basic background. In 2011, the United States Mint produced billions of 1-cent coins, also known as pennies, primarily made of zinc with a thin copper coating. A design that has been standard for many years, yet within these billions of coins, a small handful emerged with significant errors during the minting process, errors that are extremely rare, highly sought after, and in some cases, catastrophically valuable. One of the primary types of errors associated with the 2011 1-cent coin is the double die error, which occurs during the die creation process when the hub impresses the coin design onto the die more than once, but slightly misaligned each time, resulting in doubling of the images or inscriptions on the coin. On the 2011 penny, collectors have noted instances where Lincoln's profile, the words, "In God We Trust," or the date and mint mark appear to have a doubled effect. This subtle but unmistakable doubling transforms an ordinary penny into a highly coveted collectible, making it an instant magnet for numismatists who understand the rarity and precision required to produce such an error. Another striking error found on some 2011 pennies is the off-center strike, which occurs when the coin blank does not align properly within the press during minting, causing the design to be shifted, partially missing, or unevenly distributed across the surface of the coin. Depending on the severity of the misalignment, off-center coins can range from a minor curiosity to an extremely rare and valuable collectible. In the case of the 2011 penny, examples exist where the misalignment is so pronounced that the Lincoln design is almost completely cut off, exposing the raw metal beneath, and these visually dramatic anomalies are among the factors contributing to the coin's extraordinary market value. In addition to double dies and off-center strikes, some 2011 pennies have been identified with broad strike errors, where the coin is struck without the retaining collar that normally shapes the coin's edge, resulting in a broader, flatter appearance and sometimes irregular borders. These broad strike pennies not only look unusual but also demonstrate the intricate mechanical processes of the mint and the tiny ways in which a deviation can produce a collectible rarity. Yet another fascinating aspect of the 2011 penny's value comes from die cracks and die breaks, which occur when the metal die used to strike the coins develops cracks or fractures over time, and these imperfections leave raised lines, ridges, or blobs of extra metal on the coin's surface, creating patterns that are unique to each coin. Such die cracks on the 2011 penny have been documented in varying degrees, from subtle hairline fractures to more pronounced metal flows that can dramatically alter the coin's appearance, and coins with these errors are highly prized because no two coins will have the exact same pattern, effectively making each one a miniature piece of art. In addition to these mechanical and design errors, some 2011 pennies have been found with unusual planchet errors, referring to flaws in the blank metal disc before it is struck. These include lamination errors, where layers of the zinc and copper peel apart, creating Bubbles, splits, or missing patches of metal, as well as wrong planchet errors, in which a penny is accidentally struck on a planchet intended for another denomination or even another country. These errors are extraordinarily rare and contribute to the coin's incredible valuation. Beyond the physical errors themselves, the story of provenance, discovery, and rarity plays a crucial role in the 2011 penny's worth. Collectors know that a coin's market value is not just a matter of intrinsic metal content, which for a penny is negligible, but rather its scarcity, condition, documented error type, and historical context. A 2011 penny in pristine condition, graded by professional coin grading services as MS65 or higher and showing a clear and dramatic error, can attract bidding wars among collectors, pushing the price to millions. The allure of this coin is also amplified by the psychological fascination with finding something ordinary, like a penny, that transforms into a treasure. Fueling dreams of discovery, speculation, and investment, coin experts often emphasize that the combination of error type, severity, and minting location is critical. For example, a double-die penny struck at the Philadelphia Mint may differ from one struck at the Denver Mint in terms of rarity and collector interest. The tiny differences in alignment, depth, and metal flow can mean the difference between a coin worth a few $100s and one valued at millions. This brings us to the exciting world of possibilities and market dynamics. As each year, new coins are discovered in circulation or private collections, sometimes decades after minting, and when a previously unknown or extreme error is authenticated, it can trigger sensational news in the numismatic community, with collectors, auction houses, and investors scrambling to acquire the coin. The 2011 penny exemplifies this perfectly, as even a single verified error can command attention worldwide, driving the value up to astonishing figures. In addition to the numismatic allure, the 2011 penny's story highlights the technological precision required in coin production and the small margin for error. The United States Mint produces billions of coins with modern machinery designed to ensure uniformity, yet even with advanced engineering, human oversight, mechanical wear, and sheer chance can lead to anomalies, making these coins a testament to the unpredictable nature of mass production and the fascinating intersections of history, technology, and art. The 2011 penny also represents an interesting investment perspective, as coins with extreme rarity and high demand can appreciate significantly over time, far outpacing typical returns on more conventional assets. Collectors often view such coins as both tangible artifacts and financial instruments, with the 2011 penny's combination of high-value errors, documented provenance, and historical significance making it a prime candidate for investment. Moreover, the community and cultural factors surrounding coin collecting further fuel the excitement. Online forums, social media groups, and specialized auctions amplify interest in rare finds, and stories of ordinary coins discovered in pockets, jars, or drawers suddenly becoming million-dollar treasures captivate the imagination of the public, adding an almost legendary status to the 2011 penny. It is also important to note that condition, grading, and authentication play a vital role in realizing the coin's maximum value. Professional grading services assess the coin's surface, luster, strike quality, and error prominence, assigning numerical grades that help buyers and sellers understand the rarity and desirability of the piece. Coins that achieve high grades while exhibiting dramatic errors, like the 2011 penny with double dies, off-center strikes, broad strike anomalies, die cracks, or planchet flaws, are particularly prized because they combine aesthetic appeal with extreme rarity. All of these factors contribute to the staggering $6 million valuation in the market, making this coin not just a collectible, but a headline-grabbing numismatic marvel. In summary, the 2011 1-cent coin serves as a fascinating case study of how small errors, mechanical quirks, and rare anomalies can transform a humble piece of currency into a priceless treasure. With double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, planchet errors, and provenance all contributing to its extraordinary value, collectors and investors alike are captivated by the stories, possibilities, and market dynamics surrounding such coins, demonstrating the power of rarity, condition, and human fascination in determining worth, whether discovered in circulation, inherited through a collection, or uncovered at auction. The 2011 penny reminds us that even the most ordinary objects can hold extraordinary potential, and that the thrill of discovery, authentication, and Appreciation in the world of numismatics continues to inspire collectors and enthusiasts around the globe. This is a coin that teaches patience, attention to detail.
Last 2011 D1 cent USA coin. Today we are going to explore one of the most extraordinary and jaw-dropping coins of recent times, the 2011 D1 cent coin, which has captivated the attention of collectors and investors around the globe because of its mind-blowing value of $5 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny from 2011 minted in Denver has turned into a multi-million-dollar treasure due to a combination of unusual errors, rare mistakes, and unique production anomalies that make it one of the most sought-after coins in the modern era and a perfect example of how a seemingly ordinary coin can skyrocket in value when unexpected errors occur during the minting process. Now let's get into why this coin is so special and why it commands such a staggering price. The 2011 D penny is infamous among numismatists for a series of production errors that are both rare and significant, making it stand out among millions of other pennies produced that year. First, we have the most talked about error, the double die obverse, where the image on the front of the coin, featuring President Abraham Lincoln, shows noticeable doubling on the date, the word liberty, and sometimes even parts of Lincoln's profile itself. This doubling occurs when the die that strikes the coin has an unintentional second impression slightly misaligned from the first, creating a shadowed or doubled effect that is incredibly hard to reproduce and thus extremely rare. Coins with this kind of double die error often command astronomical prices because collectors know that only a small number of these coins exist. Then there is the misaligned die error that further contributes to the coin's immense value. In some 2011 D pennies, the obverse and reverse dies were not perfectly aligned, which means that when the coin was struck, one side might appear slightly rotated in relation to the other. This misalignment can be subtle or extreme, but either way, it adds a layer of rarity. Because standard pennies have perfectly aligned dies, another contributing factor is the off-center strike, an error where the coin blank is not properly centered in the press, leading to coins that have portions of the design missing or truncated. These off-center pennies are highly coveted because they are visually striking and instantly recognizable as mistakes, making them appealing to both collectors and casual observers who enjoy the novelty of coins that defy perfection. In addition to these striking errors, some 2011 D pennies exhibit weak strikes, where the details of Lincoln's portrait or the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse are faint or partially missing due to insufficient pressure during the minting process. While weak strikes can occur in many coins, the combination of a weak strike with a double die or misaligned die exponentially increases the rarity and value. The metal composition also plays a role. Pennies from this period are composed primarily of zinc with a thin copper plating, but some errors led to unusual variations in the plating, exposing the zinc core in small patches, giving the coin a distinctive appearance that further enhances collector interest. Beyond physical imperfections, the context and history behind the 2011 D penny amplify its value. During that year, the U.S. Mint produced a record number of pennies, but the 2011 D errors slipped through quality control undetected, meaning these mistakes were not corrected, making them extremely scarce in the circulation. Scarcity is one of the most important drivers of coin value, and when you combine that with visual appeal, historical significance, and the story behind the errors, you have the perfect storm that turns a simple penny into a multi-million-dollar collectible. It's important to also mention the market dynamics that influence the $5 million valuation. Rare coin auctions often see intense bidding wars where wealthy collectors are willing to pay extraordinary sums for a coin that represents not only rarity but also a piece of history and a tangible connection to a specific moment in time. The 2011 D penny has become a symbol of modern numismatic anomalies, and the competitive nature of auctions and private sales has inflated its price far beyond what one would expect for a coin with a face value of just 1 cent. Some experts speculate that a combination of provenance, condition, and error type could push individual coins even higher in value, especially if the coin is graded in perfect mint state by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, which assess the coin's condition with a rigorous point-based system. A 2011 D penny that shows a double die, misaligned strike, and flawless surface would be virtually unrivaled in its uniqueness, driving bidders to unimaginable heights during sales. The coin also represents a case study in the psychology of collectors and the numismatic market. People are drawn not just to the physical coin itself but to the story it tells. The error is a testament to human imperfection in an otherwise mechanical process, and owning such a coin is a point of pride, a way to claim ownership of a rare occurrence that almost no one else possesses. This makes the 2011 penny not merely a coin but a collector's trophy, a conversation starter, and an investment piece that carries both cultural and financial significance. Other minor variations, like doubled letters in the word states or small die cracks along the edge of the coin, further enhance collectability. While these might seem insignificant to an untrained eye, in numismatics, even the tiniest anomaly can turn a standard coin into a treasure worth millions. The value is compounded by the fact that only a handful of these high-error 2011 pennies are known to exist, with most examples residing in private collections, making public sightings and auction opportunities exceedingly rare, thus driving competitive demand and inflating prices even more. Collectors often pay premiums for coins that are not only rare but also visually dramatic, and the 2011 penny delivers on all fronts. The combination of doubled dies, off-center strikes, weak strikes, die cracks, misaligned dies, unusual plating exposure, and exceptional preservation creates a coin that is literally one of a kind. The coin has been featured in numerous numismatic publications, videos, and social media discussions, bringing mainstream attention to what might otherwise have been overlooked as just another modern penny. This attention has also played a role in boosting its market value, as more collectors and investors become aware of its rarity and potential worth. In addition, grading and authentication play a critical role in establishing the $5 million valuation. Without certification, a coin might be dismissed as just a circulated penny, but once it is authenticated and graded as having the specific errors and in high mint state, the perceived value skyrockets because buyers are assured they are investing in a genuine rarity. Another fascinating aspect of the 2011 penny is the potential for undiscovered varieties. While only a few examples have sold for multi-million-dollar prices, it is possible that additional coins exist with similar or even more dramatic errors, and the discovery of such coins could create new waves of excitement and competition in the numismatic community. Some collectors actively search through rolls of pennies, and old collections specifically hoping to uncover these elusive treasures, adding an element of adventure and mystery to coin collecting. From an investment perspective, the 2011 penny represents a unique asset class. Unlike traditional investments, it is tangible, portable, and carries both historical and emotional value. Investors are drawn to the idea that this coin is a finite resource that cannot be replicated, unlike stocks or bonds, and its value is likely to continue appreciating as long as interest in rare coins persists. Finally, the 2011 penny exemplifies the thrill of coin collecting, where careful observation, knowledge of minting processes, and an eye for detail can uncover incredible value in what most people consider everyday objects. It reminds us that mistakes can create opportunity, rarity can create wealth, and a single penny, when struck with unusual errors and preserved in excellent condition, can become worth millions. Inspiring collectors, investors, and enthusiasts around the world to pay closer attention to the coins they handle every day and to appreciate the artistry, history, and unpredictability of minting. In conclusion, the 2011 1-cent coin is not just a piece of currency, it is a testament to the power of errors, scarcity, and collector demand. A coin that turns a simple copper-plated zinc disc into a treasure worth $5 million, captivating the imagination and wallets of collectors everywhere, making it one of the most remarkable and valuable coins of the 21st century and a must-watch story for anyone interested in numismatics, modern minting anomalies, and the fascinating world of rare coin collecting.